Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is officially November, which means this house and our schoolroom is all decorated for Christmas. I'm so excited to sit down with you today. We're going to look at all of the options for homeschooling in our modern day. Before we jump into all of these options, let's talk a little bit about the history of homeschooling. Homeschooling has gone back for centuries, from the early parents that educated their children at home to the modern day pioneers who continue to question the status quo. Today, we see more and more resources available for parents in homeschooling, and we're seeing an evolution of what homeschooling looks like. I want to talk about those options today, as well as dispel some of the misconceptions on what is considered homeschooling and what is not. When you think about homeschooling, what comes to mind? When we look back even on the last handful of decades, there are so many misconceptions around one or both parents building curriculum and teaching their children. I can see where in a lot of ways this would make sense, but in modern day homeschooling, there are so many resources and other individuals involved. This is no longer a solo endeavor. If you're considering homeschooling for the first time, or perhaps you're a veteran looking for a new approach or a new curricula, consider this. There are charters, online schools, co-ops, micro schools, and even that pre-packaged and pre-boxed curriculum. Now, before everyone jumps out and says, this isn't homeschooling, let's define what is homeschool. There's a lot of debate circling as to what is homeschool and what might be considered distance education or simply an online program learning from home. Parents, if you are holding the reins to your children's education, it's homeschool. So whether or not you're using a preset charter program or a preset curriculum, if you are the one being able to review the curriculum, take a look at the schedule, and manage the approach, you're homeschooling. Why is this important? I think it's very important that we look at charters, online programs, and that pre-boxed curriculum with an understanding that even though these may be publicly funded or publicly created curriculum, there are options that exist for parents to take control of the education. For example, in most homeschool charters, you have the option to opt in or opt out of curriculum. With that being said, when there's a teacher attached to the learning program, there are several ways we can look at this approach. If you're looking at an online program as, I am going to allow my child to sit online, the teacher is going to teach, and I'm going to play a backseat role, it might not be as in control of you taking the reins of your child's education. But to facilitate their learning, to sit alongside your child, to use the teacher as a resource and an extra champion and guide, now you've created a homeschool environment where your child can thrive. Online learning, prepackaged curriculum, charters, even micro schools, they may not have as much freedom of choice in curriculum as creating your own or finding each subject out on your own. But boy, do you have control over your day. You can look at changing up your schedule, bringing in unit studies, looking at art and music, and other extracurriculars that will tie the entire day together. And we have to be honest, no matter where you're getting your core language arts or math curriculum, most likely it was created somewhere. So I think it's important that we talk about this as more and more parents are looking for solutions and options to homeschool and keep their children at home. Parents, this is homeschooling. To be successful homeschool parents, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. For our family starting out, a charter helped me greatly to learn the rhythm of the day, to have a better handle on where my focus was going to be during the day, and help my children who are at different levels of learning. We still have ample time for family style learning and parallel learning approach, but boy was it helpful to have a curriculum and even a resource that I could go back and lean onto coming in as a new homeschooler. Every state is going to have their own type of homeschool charter, and keep in mind, if it's a public charter, it is free, which means not only were we receiving a full curriculum, but we were receiving all of the resources, including computers, headphones, manipulatives, math books, core books, and reading books for the year for free. All states are going to be different in this, but I would highly recommend you hit that search bar and look up your state now. If you're considering homeschooling, I want to encourage you. You don't have to be an educational expert, a curriculum expert, or even have a direction in which you hope to hit on your journey. You just need to have the commitment to bring in programs and resources that are offered and available for you. Whether or not you use an online curriculum, a charter curriculum, whether or not you work with groups in a co-op, or even create your own. Your dedication to homeschooling is the love and connection you're making with your children every day at home. Thank you for joining me on this modern day exploration of what is homeschooling. I hope you found these insights helpful. Be sure to jump into the comments with any lasting questions you might have, and read that caption to grab some of my popular links. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time.